This is a screencast about getting started with Twitter. My name's Sue Beckingham and I work at Sheffield Hallam University. The first thing you need to do is to set up an account on Twitter. You can do this by going to twitter.com. Create a username and password. Your username needs to be fewer than 15 characters in length. There's two reasons this is useful. One is that people remember a simpler name, and two, within Twitter you only have 140 characters to create a message, so you want to keep your username quite short if possible. The next thing that you need to do is to create your bio. It's really important to say something about yourself within this space. You have 160 characters, which can include a link to your website or a blog or anything else that you would like to direct readers of your bio to. One thing that people really appreciate in Twitter is having a photo or an avatar. If you're tweeting from a personal point of view, from your own account rather than on behalf of a company, then it's really nice to have a photograph of you so that people know who it is that they're going to potentially follow and interact with in the future. On your profile page you can customise the Twitter background and change it from the default page. There's opportunities here to get designing and be a little bit more creative, but that's an add-on extra and something you might want to come back to. Some of the abbreviations that you may or may not have come across yet, but certainly will do if you haven't already, are the Twitter jargon. So this page really goes through a few of those things, the key names. So the handle is your username, the account name that you've given yourself. Any username is preceded with the ampersand, the @ sign. When people talk about a Twitter feed, that's the stream of tweets that you will see when you look at your Twitter account. So the people that you start to follow, you will see their tweets appearing in your timeline. I'll let you just have a quick read through the rest of those abbreviations there. One key one I think that we'd need to mention is the hashtag. This is used quite extensively now for a number of different reasons. You may have heard of Twitter names that are trending. This is when people have used hashtag words, and the more that hashtag word is used within a tweet, the higher it gets up in the trending top list, if you like. When you get started with Twitter, it's good to think about who you might want to follow. This is a very individual thing, so we can't actually recommend who you might want to follow. Good rule of thumb is to actually consider who you share interests with and know that are on Twitter already. You can also have a look at the people that start to follow you by clicking on the followers button at the top of your profile page. When people mention you or include your username within their tweets, you can actually get notifications to find out that this is happening. And you simply go to the top of your profile page and click on notifications to see what these are. People can also interact with you through direct messages. These are private messages. So if you go and click on the envelope, you can send a private message that only the recipient can see. One thing that you do need to note, however, is that you can only direct message a person if they are following you back. Okay. A useful aspect of Twitter is that when you start reading tweets, which may include links to useful resources, to articles, to videos, you can favourite those if you want to, and then you can go back and search through your favourites. So that's a nice way of organising things that are of interest that you may not necessarily have time to look at in detail, or just because you want to be able to refer back to them on a regular basis. Starting tweeting, you simply click on the little quill, which is the sign at the top of the page, and then you can compose a tweet, and you have, as I mentioned, 140 characters, or if you include a link, then that reduces it slightly to 130 characters. To start having a conversation with people, you can simply just reply to a tweet that you've read and respond to that person. If you find that tweet really useful, what's popular within Twitter is retweeting a tweet, and you can simply do this by pressing the retweet button, and then that will appear in your feed for the people that are following you to read. And this creates a nice ripple effect actually of information, so that we can cascade things that we've found interesting out to the people that we connect with and interact with on Twitter. Sometimes you might actually want to modify a tweet, so rather than just doing a straight retweet, you might want to shorten it or add a little bit more information, a comment. If you do this, then it's good practice to precede the tweet with the abbreviation MT, which stands for modified tweet. If you want to, you can also add a photograph to a tweet. If you're using a tablet or a mobile phone, then you can add a photograph as you take it. If you're using your computer, then you will have to add a photograph from your saved folders, wherever that might be, whether it's a desktop or on a USB stick. One of the things that helps you get organised once you start to create a large number of people that you follow is to organise those people into lists. If you think about it as folders, you could organise the people that you follow into different categories. So, for example, you may be following people that are friends and family. You might want to create a list and name it that. You may be interested in a variety of different news channels, so you may want to create a news list. You may be interested in a particular hobby, for example, sport, and you may want to create a list and title it that. You've got the option to make your list public or private, so these lists can be just for your benefit, or if you make them public, then that's something that other people can also share. Another useful aspect of Twitter is the search facility. Search facility can drill down to find lots of different information, so by entering a keyword into the search bar, you can then look at the people that have used those keywords, photographs that relate to those keywords, videos, news, or even the timelines that people have created, their bios. There's also a very sophisticated advanced search if you want to drill down into more detailed information. So it's a good way to find out information, use it as a search engine if you like. One of the things that's really handy to do is to get familiar with the settings within using Twitter, and you can do that by clicking on your photo avatar, which is in the top bar, and there you'll find a drop down menu for settings. Taking the time to go through each of these will help you get used to the extra facilities that you can make use of within Twitter. Some of these I'll quickly go over now is connecting your Twitter account to your smartphone so you can get notifications. These notifications can be by text and by email. You can also adjust the sleep settings so that if you're connected with people, for example, across the other side of the world with different time zones, you may not necessarily want to get tweet alerts in the middle of the night. So you can turn off updates during the hours of your choice. So I tend to turn mine off between 11 and 7 PM, 7 AM, so I won't get any beeps coming through my phone. Also in settings you can change your password at any time, and it's actually good practice to do this on a regular basis every couple of months, as it is with any online password system or account that you have. It may be that in the future you want to change your name. You can actually do this, and again in settings, go into your account tab, and you can also change your photograph at any time. Hopefully you won't have to do this, but now and again you may be followed by somebody that you don't want to be followed by. Don't worry too much about this. If you go onto their username and then click on the little gear icon, you can actually block or report a user for spam if you feel that's necessary. And finally, in the event that your account is hacked, there are support instructions within Twitter, and you can go to support.twitter.com to give you detailed information. I hope this has been useful. Thank you.